Thanks for hanging out with us. Right now, joined by Franklin County Auditor Michael Stinziano. Michael, thanks so much for coming in.
Good morning.
So it's been a week. Actually, it's been a week and a day since we saw, the tornado hit the south side of the city. We also got some straight line wind damage. Upper Arlington. A lot of people ended up with some damage.
It was crazy.
There is some relief, though, especially when it comes to property taxes, that this could help people balance some of the stress of trying to put things back together.
So understanding people still, I think all power's back on, but still trying to figure out what may be still good in their fridge or not, getting back settled, but want property owners to know that if they had damaged or destroyed property, there is a program under Ohio law that they can complete a form. We'll work with them on what the impact is on their value. And then again, depending when they are able to get their property back up to its highest and best use, the relief could be impactful on future property tax bills for a little bit.
Did you go out and survey any of the damage?
We have used some GIS data, so have not personally surveyed outside of being out and about on the county. So I saw the damage in Berliner. I was in Upper Arlington yesterday. Still a lot of limbs down, a lot of cleanup to go. But we will be contacting certain targeted neighborhoods, Old Town East, Upper Arlington in particular, that we know saw substantial impact.
And what kind of, percentage of property tax reduction are we talking about?
It really depends on how large the damage is. If it completely knocked over a structure, it's pretty substantial. So we'll just go take it down to the land value if it's a complete demolish. But if it's a roof or repair, it could be anywhere from a couple hundred to a couple thousand, depending again on how severe the damage was.
And you guys are in the middle of property value reviews right now. That goes all the way through September 5th. Did these storms affect that at all?
Depends. So it does not change the current tentative auditor's value that we submitted to property owners in June. But if someone, now that they have the damage, wants to participate in a property value review, say, hey, this clearly is going to impact if I was trying to sell my property right now, we would encourage them to take advantage of the property value review, either submit documentation, schedule a virtual meeting, or an in-person meeting up until that September 5th deadline.
Okay, and talk to us about how property values and property taxes
I always love this
different.
question.
I know you love this one.
So it's not a one-to-one, particularly in Franklin County. So values can go up, taxes can go down. Value could go down, taxes could go up. So 35% of the auditor's final value, so that's what's important. We're establishing that final value right now, combined with your taxing district. Your taxing district's what you vote on, is how the property taxes get established. So also very important, we're going to have an election in November. If people are going to have a ballot or levy issue, they should be aware of that impact. But it's not a one-to-one. That is my big message. So we're seeing on average, residential values going up 10%. Right now, property taxes are not increasing 10%. If your community approves a couple levies, it may see an increase, but it's not, again, because directly tied to that value component.
And was there another storm from years past that you can think about where property owners got a little bit of relief just like this?
So not as large scale. The big example was out in Dayton. A few years back, they had massive tornadoes, wiped out communities, and it actually led to a law change where the auditors can proactively change values. We're a little sensitive. We want to make sure we're not overstepping it depending what people are seeking for change. But that's a big example where just, again, if you were there, you saw the communities completely wiped out. That substantially impacted values in those communities.
And, as somebody who's owned a home before, I found property tax season very confusing. And when it comes to breaking down what my bill means, or in the event of currently trying to figure out how to apply for this relief, are there people in the office that are able to answer the phone or sit down with you and work through that?
Absolutely. So we would encourage everyone to visit the auditor's website, auditor.franklincountyohio.gov. Right at the top of the main page is the property tax relief for damaged and destroyed. But contact information, contact any member of the office. We want to make sure people are aware of the programs and take advantage of them.
And what else? What other advice do you have for people? Do you wish people took photos, send those in? Do you wish they documented things over the last week?
Not necessarily. We'll see the damage, but want the documentation. That's what's going to be helpful. Eventually, in Dayton's case, a lot of insurance companies were also involved, but we will work directly with that property owner. But the documentation's key. So if it's didn't take pictures before, you can take them now. The damage is the damage, and we'll make sure we're updating accordingly.
Right. And obviously this is in the middle of that property tax review season. You have until September 5th if you think that your property tax evaluation is wrong to go in and kind of make your case for that.
Absolutely. And we haven't seen a lot of participation, so we really appreciate you reminding folks of that. We currently have one half of 1% have participated.
Oh.
So substantially lower than we were expecting. Some people.
Does that mean people were happy?
So that some members of the office will say yes. Other people will say no one wants to do this process, and that's why they're not participating. And
But they're
so
gonna
we're trying to find that sweet spot, but it's there's no reason not to take advantage. The auditor's current tentative value is the ceiling. So if you participate, it's either going to be held at that value or decreased if that's what you're pursuing.
Okay.
All righty. Well, thanks for coming in today. We appreciate
Thanks.
it.
I know it's not as exciting as Ohio State football, but it is taxes, so it's important.
No,
And it's important stuff to know, especially coming off these storms.
Exactly.
That, you know, people are looking for any way to build themselves back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Franklin County Auditor Michael Stinziano, thanks so much for coming in.